Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Dream Vessels Maker of the Month interview. I am your spokesperson, Ashley, and I'm so excited to be here talking to Kimberly. Kimberly, who is the brand owner of MILKA Method, an incredible candle company. Thank you so much for being here. How does it feel to be chosen as Dream Vessels Maker of the Month for March?
I am honored, I'm humbled, and we're in an industry where it's a candle maker just about in every city. And so just to be considered for this honor has been absolutely humbling. So I'm grateful and I'm just honored.
Okay, so man, we just learned so much about the MILKA method and you can really, as a business owner. Earlier, you talked a lot about social media.
Mhm.
I have been digging through your social media page and your website, and your photography looks so incredible. I mean, it looks professional.
Mhm.
First off, how did you build your website? And second off, tell us a little bit about your photography. Do you do it? Do you hire someone to do it? How do you get such an elevated, beautiful look for your brand?
So my website is I built myself through Shopify. I didn't feel like I needed a lot of pages to kind of, push a product. So I designed my website. I think it's the Dawn template I use on Shopify. It's it's 1, 2, 3. So I designed it myself. And as far as photography, the Christmas collection where I was in the running for, the best photo with Dream Vessels, at that time, my good friend Amy was taking all of my photos for me because Christmas is so busy. The holidays are intense. It was an intense time because I was trying to do a fall collection before, Thanksgiving on Black Friday, and then another collection. So it was a lot. And Amy from Knox and Magnolia, and she's all over the Carolinas and Tennessee based. She did my photography for me, which got me in the running for the Dream Vessels contest in the holidays. So it was awesome. But particularly to maintain budget concerns, I do all of my photography myself. I just like a clean, minimalist background. So you will see a lot of white. I just got a new marble backdrop I'm excited about. So we'll see how that goes. But typically, I know the look I like, and I have a great camera. I do have an iPhone, but even when I had my Android, it's all about angles and lighting. Try to shoot in natural light, so that way you don't have to filter so much. People can really see clearly your product. And a lot of times we focus a lot on props and making sure, we're adding in flowers or pampas grass or something to kind of make the photo pop. But people really just want to know about your product. What does it say? Sometimes you can add too much to your photo to try to make it more presentable, and it's distracting the customer from what they really need to see. And that again is your product. So keep everything minimum. If you want to add quotes and do like floral backgrounds with that, or if you want to add a pop of color here or there, but when it comes to your product, keep it clean, keep it simple, and don't try to overwhelm your customer, into purchasing. It'll naturally draw them in if you just focus on the product.
Yeah, I 100% agree. And it
Mhm.
adds that level of luxury. It really
Yes,
does. When people say less is more, I mean, I
yes,
think they just go onto your Instagram page and look at it. It is just,
yes.
it's so beautiful. And it really is an experience, and I just think that's one of the reasons why your brand is just winning, because like you figured out who your brand is and who
Yeah,
you are, and
right.
it comes through so clearly, which I think you're right. It helps us as customers really understand like who you are and what the brand's about, and what could be better than that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk a little bit about advertising.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you do any advertising like outside of Instagram or social media? And how do people find out about the Milka method?
So this is an area of my business that I honestly struggle in. A lot of people, when you're in business classes or marketing classes, they tell you to be here, do this, post this much, don't post that much. And the algorithm and the analytics and all that sometimes can overwhelm people. So outside of Instagram and the collective, I honestly do not advertise. I believe that I am supposed to enjoy this journey, that I'm supposed to walk this journey, and this journey is not supposed to walk all over me. And I think you go into burnout when you try to figure out, well, I need to be at this event, I need to do this marketing, I need to do this. I think you just need to be still, even if you're not a person that believes or have faith or whatever your spiritual source is. I think sometimes if we just be still and just analyze and assess what we're doing and how we're doing it, it'll lead us to go to the places that we're supposed to be. And it'll tell us what we need to do at the right time. So advertising, I don't focus a lot on. When I first started, being honest, I did try to like boost posts and all that. And then one day it just clicked. It's like, just stop. Because what happens is you become more reliant on a platform or a tool to do the work for you. And that's nothing wrong with that. But then you get overwhelmed when your expectations are not met or you're disappointed. And that's where dreams stop, because expectations are not met. So I literally have, when people ask me what, your goals are for MILKA Method, I don't have any, because I know that this is a journey. This is just a business. Do I want to make an income? Absolutely. But if that's always my focus, I'm not enjoying the process. The process is really ruining me, so yeah.
That's so insightful. That's so
yeah.
insightful. Again, going back to your whole less is more mantra, which I think is so important. And a lot of people need to hear, because burnout is very real, and there's so much competition. So like how do you keep up? So I think that's a really interesting point that you make. What about the location of the collective? Is it at a high traffic area? Is it on a corner? Do a lot of people just like stop in? Is that a good place to kind of get your name out there?
Yes. So the collective, it's a high visibility area. We are diagonally across from a Starbucks.
Oh, wow.
And they're always busy. However, with the recent, events of the world and how things have transpired, traffic has been a lot slower. So we've been pulling on each other to host events and, do pop-up shops and invite other artists in that are not in the collective to come inside of our store and share their talents as well, just to broaden the community a little bit. So, again, between the collective and Instagram and my website, I believe that it just takes time, and I just need to nurture it, because, we all know the day you plant the seed is not the day you reap the harvest. So you just got to be patient and build those authentic relationships. That's another thing I tell people. Don't be so bent on where another person is in their journey that if you think you attached yourselves to them, it's going to expedite yours. It doesn't always work like that. You want to build genuine connections with people. Make sure that your goals, your vision for what your businesses are in alignment, because you can align yourself with the wrong person and it sets you back. But because they were further along and they could help you, you were deceived, and it can really bite you in the end. So I just tell people, be patient and nurture your process, nurture it, speak to it, speak life into it. There's been times, even this year, I went 2 weeks without sales online, but the collective sustained me. And I spoke to it. I keep speaking life into it and speaking what I want to see and not what I'm seeing. So.
Wow. Words to live by in every sense. Let's talk a little bit about your background. Like, do you have a business background? I mean, you seem to know this industry really well, and you know how to package things, and you know where to put your products. Is this the first business that you've ever had?
This is not the first business I've ever had.
So tell us more.
For 11 years, I was a licensed cosmetologist, and I did establish a studio salon suite in 2017. And regretfully closed it in a year. And I had to understand that you can have the right vision, but the wrong place, right? So that I was never supposed to own a business. It just wasn't supposed to be in that particular industry. It was great. It was prosperous, but eventually it got to a point where I wasn't the business owner. The business was owning me, because we're always having to do so much. And that's a very physical industry. You're on your feet. You're trying to service your clients, get them out in a timely manner, offer, optimum customer service experiences. Then you have to order products, and then you have to stay up on education. And then you would have to travel. I did a lot of weddings and television and film work. A majority of my career was in television and film. I live in Atlanta for about 2 years. And I worked on a lot of reality sets, and it taught me a lot. A lot of my business acumen has been built in the beauty industry, the do's and don'ts, and it's just, and to me, it's commonality, you know, to just be a great person, just be a good person and give good service. And the business that I established in the salon also taught me that you really cannot rely on customers. So now I have more of a clienteling type of approach to MILKA Method. Wholesale orders make about 75% of my business. So even when customers are not buying online, I have at least 3 contracts, private label, that are in rotation. So it just opens you up. So when we were filming movies and it was shut down, I could go into a salon and work, and vice versa. You never want to just depend on one section of your business to make it flourish. You have to really, like me personally, this interview is hard for me. Like, you'll go on my social media, you don't know who I am because I don't post any pictures of me. I hate being in the camera. But my advice to candle makers is, you know, if you love making candles and the sales are not there, think about doing a workshop, teaching other people how to make candles. So you can't just survive just off of doing one thing in your business. Right. You know, I know candle makers that actually sell vessels that now are getting into making concrete vessels, you know, to kind of supplement when there's slow time. So you kind of get, that's where coming back to being still and assessing and analyzing where you are in your journey. If your things are hard, you know, with business and beauty was different. Things got hard, so I had no choice but to shut down, you know. But now I know better. I didn't necessarily have to shut down. I could have just pivoted a little bit in what I had to offer. Right. But learning experiences builds you for your next season, your next chapter of your life. So I'm grateful I had all the experiences. It was a wonderful 11 years. People still ask me to come back, but you know, when you close that door, you don't reopen it. But it's really built me. Business, the beauty business built me. It built me who I am today.
So how did beauty turn into candles? Like why candles? You know, coming from the beauty industry and cosmetology, what made candles the right fit for you?
What I always tell people is, since I've been here, my entire life does not belong to me. You have to understand what I'm saying. The girls that get it, get it.
The girls that get it, get it.
So I have to tell people that you're talking to someone that literally only wanted to be a registered nurse their entire life. I graduated high school, went off to college, pursued a baccalaureate in nursing, and nothing worked for me. I had a 3.9 GPA when I applied to nursing program, and they told me no. 3.9. So I came back home, and getting to the beauty industry, it just fell into my lap. I literally walked into a department store, and the lady at the, not just the lady, the manager, I went in to grab something for my mom. She offered me a job on the spot.
What?
And so everything that I have in my life is through obedience. I just knew it was time to transition. I knew it was time to create a new phase of my life. And I know that's hard. That may be a lot really hard or challenging for some people to understand if you are not a very spiritual person, but it was just time to phase out. And I knew it was time to close that door, but I didn't understand what was coming next. Mm-hmm. And candles are something I've always been in tune with. As a, you know, my young adulthood, I always said I wanted to have a flower farm and have like a specialty shop on the farm where people could come and get smell goods for their house or whatever and buy pretty arrangements. And now to see that happening is scary. Wow. Because you don't understand what you speak. It actually comes to fruition a lot of times. And so now, even with me being a floral designer, literally fell into my lap, walked into a flower shop, needed some flowers. Hey, we're short staffed. What do you know? Started that next week. So everything that I want for me, it never happened. So that's why I say I have no expectations. I have no expectations on nothing. Nothing.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.